How's it going, everybody? Ryebread here today, and we are back with another episode in our Carolina Hurricanes franchise mode. And so the couple questions I asked for you guys are, should we wait for a roster update, which is why this took so long. I wanted to wait until everything was updated as far as, what it would be, who would be updated and whatnot. And it's a good thing I did decide to wait because we had a couple blockbusters. I guess one of them's not really a blockbuster a few days ago. But it was about a week ago or so. But Max Pacioretty is now on the Vegas Golden Knights, which definitely is going to impact us in the East because that means the Montreal Canadiens are even worse. And speaking of worse teams in the Atlantic Division, there's this guy named Erik Karlsson. He's kind of decent defenseman. I would put him about, maybe one or two in the NHL as far as defenseman, so nothing too special. He just got dealt for a really horrible return to San Jose, but I don't know why San Jose would want this guy anyway. But he's on there. There he is. He's at the top. I don't know. Anyway, so that means the Ottawa Senators are even worse. And maybe we might be able to poach people off the Ottawa Senators, but I can tell you what. I went the completely wrong way to get the Ottawa Senators. They're not really going to want to trade for many of our players. If we've got bad contracts, they're definitely not trading for that. But, a guy like Matt Duchene, he's got an expiring deal. He's definitely somebody, if we're in the position in the playoffs, another guy like Thomas Chabot here, he's got 2 years left on his entry-level deal, which is absolutely spectacular. I would want to trade for him right now. But looking at us and our cap situation and what we seem to be, look at this. Our top two trade value guys are 18 and 19, 80 overall and 71 overall. So it doesn't look like we're really going to be in a position to contend right away, although they do have some guys that are right in their prime: Teravainen, Slavin, Hamilton, Falk. The decor is nasty. Like, if we go look at our defensemen, and I'll just sort by overall instead of potential, we got Falk and Hamilton. I'm not sure what handedness Falk is here. He's right-handed, and Dougie's right-handed. So Slavin, yeah, he's left-handed, so Slavin's going to be up there on that first defensive pairing with Falk. So it's going to be Falk, Slavin, Hamilton, and hopefully Pesce. Actually, Pesce's right-handed as well. Left-handed Calvin DeHaan, and then Fleury here, who's left-handed, can play with. Is it Pesce? Yeah, I think it's Pesce. So it's going to be Falk, Slavin, Hamilton, DeHaan, and Pesce, Fleury, with Trevor Van Riemsdyk, being our seventh D-man. We also have Dahlbeck here, who is listed as a depth defender, and he will probably spend most of the time in the AHL. I did turn off waivers. Fog of War I left on. So that was another question that I posed to you guys in the last video, was should we keep Fog of War on? I saw some yes and no. I decided to keep it on just because I thought it would be a lot more interesting to see what we did. Now, I did have it auto-assign NHL scouts. So if we go to our scouts here, take a look at them, you can see we've got some AHL and NHL region scouts here, as well as then we got a bunch of players. ROW, I don't know what the heck is ROW. Anyway, I'm going to change his region, I think. That's rest of the world. Why are we scouting the rest of the world? Anyway, so this is a very good time to just check out what is Miknov good at. Where can he scout well? He scouts the rest of the world. He scouts Russia pretty well. He scouts the SHL. We already have somebody in the SHL, but Burkhoff maybe can slip over to Liga. In Liga, maybe he can slip over to, I don't know, or maybe we just go ahead and put Miknov in the NHL or AHL or the NLA, or maybe he'll just scout Russia, because it doesn't seem like we have a Russian scout in here. So yeah, he's going to go ahead and scout Russia. Anybody with an NHL or AHL region is going to get automatically assigned, so I'm not going to worry about them, but I will assign him in Russia here. Russia's got a decent amount of prospects to uncover, but what I am going to do is anybody who's an amateur scout, is I'm going to go ahead and take care of their scouting assignment, and I'm just going to let the computer assign the scouts for the pros, because that's less interesting. So I'm going to go ahead here and just get started with the scouting so you guys can see what I do. So US Central, we're going to scout specific players, and we're just going to scout the top couple guys. Let's go ahead here. I want to do potential and comparison, because if I can get a comparison on how they're playing, that's fine for me. Nothing too crazy there. But again, this is what the new scouting is going to be like. I don't really want to go much further than 200. So we'll scout Reeves, but that'll be about it. That's just 10 players, which is really nice. So anybody, all the pro scouts have already gotten a scouting assignment. I definitely just did I not save it? Anyway, so with this team, like I said, we have a lot of defenders, but we don't necessarily have a lot of forwards that I want to, stick around with. Some guys are getting in their prime, and I don't want to really give up draft assets because we got some young potential players that I think are going to make the squad. I definitely know that Svechnikov, I am going to call him up, and he's going to play for us in the NHL this season. He's going to be a rookie. He's 80 overall. He was draft pick number 2. So I don't see how I pass that up. But let's see, the OHL. The OHL's got a lot of players that I'm going to want to scout here. Yeah, so usually you got the CHL is pumping out those prospects. Then you've got Scandinavia, and then you've probably got Russia and the United States as far as third, as far as the amount of prospects you're going to see. Europe doesn't usually have too many as a whole. Obviously, the rest of the world doesn't have many either. But I think I'm just going to start with this top 20 players here as far as potential in comparison. This is a longer part of, like I said, I did tweet this out the other day, when they first announced the new scouting changes, that this was going to be a longer part of my video, but I did want to show you guys just exactly what I'm doing. So I want to scout the potential in comparison of the top 20 players in each region. I'm going to go ahead and just finish this up, just so you guys, I'll show you the rundown as soon as I'm done with it. So that took me long enough. But as you can see, with every amateur scout, I am sending them into their region. They may be scouting 20, they may be scouting 10, and as you can see, some of them have a lot of guys as far as like the OHL or Liga, which is apparently pumping out a ton of great prospects this year. Because I think they have like the second and third projected in the game, as Central Scouting has them projected second and third. But for now, I'm just going to start with their potential in comparison. Get their comparison usually helps you to kind of figure out what kind of skills. If for Nick Backstrom, you're going to have a very smart offensive player who's got a good two-way game, but most importantly, he's going to be a very good passer of the puck. I wouldn't really rely on him to score a lot of goals or play physical, but defensively, he'll be solid, and offensively, he'll just pass it like a maniac and be absolutely fantastic. But as far as what our team is looking like, so let's go check out the contracts real quick, just to see, like, a guy like Sebastian Aho, technically our best player, because he's 21. I know he's only medium or high. He's actually high top 6, where Falk is medium elite, but he's 21, high top 6. I mean, he's fantastic. So he does want an extension. I would love to get him locked up for 5.5. That gets me till he's 26. Or should we just go straight with the 7, 6.5? Ooh, 7, 6.5 for Sebastian Aho could be nice. I think I'm going to try the 7, 6.5 with Aho before he even plays a single game for us, or, us in Carolina here. As far as goaltending, though, that is the one area, well, I shouldn't say the one area, but one of the areas where this team needs some help. So Mrazek and Darling are not the goaltenders of the future in the system. We have a medium starter here, and Nedeljkovic, this guy. I know he's got a weird looking face. Oh, they actually updated his picture. His picture used to look really bad. That's a decent picture of him now. Anyway, Alex here, medium starter. He's 22, 74. Again, not really great. Helvig and Booth also not fantastic. So if we go ahead and check out defenseman, like I said, defenseman is where we shine. A guy like Trevor Van Riemsdyk, honestly, 2 more years at 2.3. I could look to deal him at the draft. I could look to deal him in the offseason. He's going to stay around, though, because I don't trust Dahlbeck if one of these guys gets injured. But Fleury here wants an extension, but we're going to wait for him. And then as far as players in the system, we've got Jake Bean here, who's 67, 20 years of age, and he's medium top 4, so that's pretty good. And then McEwen, not really great after that. But a lot of our defensive prospects, well, aren't really prospects, but they're quite NHL worthy at this point. So everyone is kind of starting to enter their prime, which scares me as a general manager a little bit, because this is not the forward core that's going to get us to anywhere in the Stanley Cup or anywhere close to contending for a solid playoff position. Now we've got Svechnikov here, who's 80, 18, medium elite, and I'm going to hope to surround him with as good of talent as I can. We got Julien Gauthier, we got Nicholas Roy here, Warren Fogley, Jesus. We have Cliff Poo, who we recently acquired from the Buffalo Sabres. I wouldn't expect much more after that. And then we've got our medium elite prospect. Where'd he go? He's unsigned. There we go. No, he's not unsigned, but I know he's in the trade screen. I know that for a fact. There is Nekis. Okay, so he is in the well, I don't know why he's in the AHL or in the NHL. He should be in the AHL while he's on the main roster. But if we go ahead and look at our lines here, I'm gonna do some quick flipping real quick. And show you guys probably what the lines are going to look like. I'm just going to hit best lines, and I think that is probably going to be what I'm going to need. Zykov and DiGiuseppe can go down. Actually, no. Dahlbeck is going to go down. We need one guy to come up, and that one guy to come up would be Svechnikov. So we're going to call up being under the NHL salary cap. So it looks like I'm going to be forced to keeping around some of these guys and just make them ride the pine, which is kind of unfortunate. I guess I'll keep Dahlbeck up here and Zykov. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So Svechnikov comes up. Zykov stays scratched. He's a fourth line forward, but I don't really expect myself to play him. As far as goaltenders, nothing really needs to be changed with the goaltenders. If we go ahead and take a look at the best lines real quick, we've got Teuvo Teravainen, Victor Rask, and Justin Williams. Svechnikov here, he's a third line scoring forward. I really don't want to play him above his head. So playing him with Jordan Staal and Sebastian Aho, that actually sounds like a great idea. That's fantastic. Justin Williams can help out Teuvo Teravainen up here. Teuvo Teravainen, I'm going to keep saying that wrong. But Staal, Aho, and Svechnikov. That seems like a really solid second line. But then we've got Ferland, Wallmark, and McGinn, Zykov, DiGiuseppe, and Martinook. So nothing really stands out about this team other than there's not a lot of depth. There's a bunch of average players as far as forwards. The defensive core, which I forgot to check out, we know is good. We know that's going to be a very good-looking defensive core. So we've got Slavin and Falk, Hamilton and Pesce. Okay, I'll accept that. Right, yeah. Oh, instead of Trevor Van Riemsdyk, I'm going to want to play Fleury just because he's younger and he's got the potential to grow because he's got low elite. So if we can just play him for a season with Calvin DeHaan, I think we'll be okay. He is an offensive defenseman where Fleury is a two-way defender. As far as his defensive awareness and offensive awareness are both fine. The defensive categories aren't fantastic for those guys, but I think it should be a fine third pairing. Pesce and Hamilton and Slavin and Falk. But the one thing that worries me with those guys is the bottom six is really not looking great. A guy like Zykov, Valentin Zykov, he's 23, he's medium top 9, he's listed as a fourth line forward, but same thing with DiGiuseppe, they're depth forwards, they're not really that great. I am going to look at free agents right now. We don't have to worry about cap space. That is not what we need to worry about. This is not a team with a bunch of albatrosses of contracts. Michael Camilleri. Don't really know too much about him. He's listed as a. They don't really know where he'll slot into at all for us. Again, some of these guys need to be scouted, like Chris Stewart here. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can send one of my scouts to scout Camilleri, Hartnell, Ward, and Pouliot, just see what their overalls are. Maybe a season to fill in on the bottom six there. I don't think I'm going to tank. I think we're just going to let this season ride out and play as is. As far as our draft capital is concerned, we'll go ahead and look at that right now. I don't know exactly how many draft picks we have, but we have our second, the Sabres second, and our second. So we have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, which is really nice. That's really, really nice. We have our first, maybe acquiring a first if the season looks to go downhill, maybe some more seconds and thirds, but a first, 2 seconds, a third, fourth, fifth, 2 sixths, and 2 sevenths. So that's a decent amount of draft picks that we could get. So I am going to pour some time into scouting our scouting our prospects, And speaking of defense, I was thinking maybe if the season doesn't look like, a winning one, if it doesn't look great, a guy like Calvin DeHaan, 4 years left at $4.5 million, he's the kind of guy I'd like to flip at the deadline or the draft to a team desperately needing defense. Now, desperately needing defense, well, I guess you could say the Ottawa Senators would be desperately needing defense, but would they be willing to take on that contract? They'd probably be willing to take on a contract like Trevor Van Riemsdyk. So that's definitely one that I might consider flipping, Trevor Van Riemsdyk, because like I said, he's a great 7th defenseman, but not for $2.3 million. I'd rather have Dahlbeck, and Dahlbeck, although I don't trust him enough because he's a 77, it's just a little bit more cost friendly. But what do I care about cost? We have almost no cap concerns whatsoever. Although with Aho's contract coming up, as well as Fleury's contract coming up, that's one that we may want to. Okay, so let's see who's got the shortest scouting. October 5th up here at the top. So Larson, Scout specific players. I want him to team. Oh, wow, he's scouting the AHL. Can I scout NHL free agents? Like, here, can scout specific players? Is that a thing, Bets? No, I can't scout free agents. Really, I can't. Well, you know, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was just about to, like, why does that even matter? But you can't scout a guy if he's not playing on a team. You don't really know how he's going to play. So a guy like Camilleri is seeking 1.275. I mean, I know he's pretty good. He's 36. A Benoit Pouliot could be a little safer bet here. He's just $1 million. Easily tradable. Same thing with Vermette, but Vermette's not really much of an upgrade. So I think I am going to go after... Joel Ward could be good for the bottom. I wish I could bring these guys in on like a tryout and just play them through the AHL or through the preseason. But defender's not what we need. So I'm going to go ahead and look at forwards here. UFAs, I'm pretty sure they're all UFAs. But maybe sign a guy like Chris Stewart. If he doesn't turn out to be great, then we could always just put him in the minors. But I think he's going to be better than Zykov. Bring in Pouliot and Chris Stewart here. Two players that I pretty much know are pretty decent. As they've been veterans, they've been around. A Michael Camilleri kind of guy. I'd love to get him, but in my opinion, I mean, a third line scorer would not be bad. I guess we could, you know what we will do that. We're gonna bring in Stewart, Pouliot, and Camilleri just to get some more depth players on this team. Just to, you know, we need that depth. We've got some decent guys on the top there, and Svechnikov playing on that second line. I wouldn't be approving of it if it wasn't for his line mates being Aho and Stahl. If we go ahead and look at the special teams power play, Aho, Rask, Teravainen, and then we've got, because I do like Victor Rask. He's a top 6 forward. He's a playmaker. How's his passing? He's got 86 passing, 86 offensive awareness. Stahl has 85. So yeah, if I want a facilitator on that first line, he's a two-way forward. So he's only gonna make Svechnikov better because Svechnikov is a sniper. We know that for a fact. And he will be playing with Aho, who can get him the puck because he's got fantastic passing and offensive awareness, and Stahl, who will take care of the defensive aspect. We've got Teuvo Teravainen up here, who's a playmaker. Victor Rask is a playmaker, but he's also got a pretty decent... They both have decent defensive categories. And Justin Williams is the two-way forward, but... he's more of a veteran presence for these two younger guys. They're not too young. They're just about to hit their prime. But the reason I'm signing those guys is because at the bottom here, Ferland, I like Ferland. I like Michael Ferland. I'm glad that they acquired him in a trade here, although I don't get why they would trade for Dougie Hamilton and trade away Hanifin unless contract was an issue, because they're about the same. I don't know if I can get that trade to go back through, but I don't think I'm going to try because I'm okay with Dougie Hamilton, and what team would ever take back a trade? So we got a couple days here as far as players that we pretty much know everything about all of our players. I also left Morale on, so that is another issue. If players aren't getting the playing time that they're seeking, then they might not be happy. But most of our players, so Aho is a first line forward, but he's going to be getting first line power play. And then we got fourth line and depth forwards there as well. I didn't check defense. I was going to do that right now. I'm pretty sure Mrazek is our starter. Top 4, top 4, top 4, top 4, top 4, top 6. So the only guy I'm worried about is Dahan, but I'm not all that worried because he's just a guy to kind of help Hayden Fleury along. So if we go ahead, just get through the preseason here. There's all the salary cap stuff. Owner mode is off. I did turn that off. It's just kind of pointless. It's somebody setting objectives, and I might do it on my own time, but it's not going to be for YouTube. So here we go. Let's simulate through the preseason, see how we do. Injuries are on, but I turned them down. Pouliot accepted our offer, which is great. Camilleri accepted our offer. We know he's a sniper. That's great. We think he's got, well, he's pretty sure he's got top 6 potential. We don't really know his overall or player role. Same thing with Chris Stewart. He's going to be a bottom guy for us as well. Sebastian Aho accepted a 7 years, $6.5 million contract we gave him. He's going to be fantastic. He's still high top 6 at 21 and 85. Like, I really cannot wait for him to just grow and make that contract look so cheap. I hope he does. I hope he does grow. But so far it looks good. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist. If I just hit best lines, where do we go? We've got, okay, so they're in the AHL, I bet. Otherwise, I don't know where they would be. Yeah, that's right. We didn't have enough guys. So Camilleri, Pouliot, and Stewart can come up. We need to send 2 guys from the NHL down, Zykov and Di Giuseppe. That's fine, because those are our two worst guys, requiring me to fix our lines. Plus, the thing about Stewart and Pouliot is they're going to be decent two-way guys for us, decent guys that can kill penalty minutes too. So Chris Stewart playing down there on the fourth line. Camilleri, Wallmark, and Ferland. Can Pouliot take faceoffs at all? I don't know if he can take faceoffs. I don't really know that. At least I know he's better than Chris Stewart on faceoffs. What about Brock McGinn here? Faceoffs are a 70, so we know him pretty well. But see, these guys, they only have the 2-bar, 3-bar, 3-bar as far as accuracy. So they are going to play on the bottom two lines. And it really rounds out our depth, I feel like, though, having those three guys down there helping us out as far as our depth is concerned. Hopefully, we can gain enough knowledge about them here in these first couple games. But I think he's been injured. It's just a quick injury, though. Teuvo Teravainen is fully healed. Yeah, it was just a quick, simple injury. Plus, these guys provide depth. The guys we just signed, the three guys, Camilleri, Stewart, and Pouliot, are going to provide depth. And now DiGiuseppe or Zykov can come up if need be. And those three guys aren't really hot commodities. Maybe Camilleri a little bit more so, but again, they're a bunch of aging players that aren't really finding much work elsewhere. Obviously, as we were able to sign them and they still haven't been signed in real life, they're waiting for somebody maybe to go down for an injury or something like that. But now we got to meet with Justin Williams. What does Justin Williams want to know? I feel like the locker room is a dysfunctional family. We may need a shakeup. Become a role model. Lead by example. He doesn't want to lead by example. That's fine. As far as captains are concerned, I'm not really too sure who our captains are. Let me go ahead and double check who are our captains, because I would like Stahl, Williams is a captain, and then Falk is okay. I'm very happy. That's exactly as I hoped. I'm not going to make a change there. Edit lines. Did we learn anything more about Camilleri? We did. We learned more about Camilleri and Pouliot. We're now looking more like Pouliot's an 80, where Chris Stewart's a 78. Camilleri is also looking more like a 78 as we get to watch these guys play, but Pouliot may look like a decent signing at the end of all of this. Wallmark here is our only other center. Can I see his stats in the preseason? No, I can't. It doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does show me stats on this. So the preseason stats are now gone. He's going to play on the bottom line. Camilleri there with Pouliot and Ferland. 67 faceoffs. Okay, faceoffs. Camilleri's actually got not too terrible faceoffs. So we're going to play those guys there. I don't know how the preseason went as far as stats-wise. I maybe did go a little too far. And I hope they'll notify me when the scouts are back. I'm not 100% sure when the first scout comes back, but I'm pretty sure it's within the next week. But we are here at the... Oh, see? There we go. Pro Scouts, 5. Pro Scouts, 5. Amateur Scouts... Oh, there's 5 scouts that need... Okay. Has completed their current assignment. This is really nice. Clicking the right stick, I did not know that before this. So you can see who they're scouting, and these guys should be getting their assignment just fine soon here. So let's go ahead and scout or sim maybe the first week of NHL hockey. I do like the way the calendar looks now. Scott Darling is injured with a torn groin and is going to be back November 14th. So it looks like we're going to have to call up one of our goalies from the AHL. Alex, welcome to the NHL. That leaves us thin down there in the AHL. Let me just go ahead and put him in. That's actually probably the easiest person to replace. Mrazek, go ahead, get yourself in there. And then Alex, welcome to the squad. And Morale. Let's go to his Morale because he's got a more. Thanks for the opportunity to prove my worth in the NHL. I'm glad you are excited. I can feel you can contribute a lot. And he does not like the fact that I feel like he can contribute a lot. I feel like they're worded so well. Like, thanks for the chance for me proving my worth. I'm glad you're excited. Screw you. It made me upset. That doesn't make any sense. So, whatever. We're leaving it on. It's more about playing time anyway. As we win our home opener and we win the first 2 games of the season, but then follow it up with 2 straight losses. That might be the kind of season we have here in Carolina. It might be up and down, but as long as we get our guys to... All right, Calvin DeHaan with 2 goals and an assist. He's got 3 points. I'm just trying to figure out if we've gained enough information to know Pouliot and Camilleri. So we know Camilleri for a fact is... Okay, so we know these guys for a fact, 78, 78, 79. We know that We know his faceoffs are an 80, so he's a great third-line center. We're going to transition him into that role to play alongside Ferland, who's a grinder, sniper, two-way forward. So we got some depth scoring there, not a ton. And then Brock McGinn, who's a two-way forward, playmaker, power forward. We're still trying to figure out Chris Stewart, but he's gotten less ice time, so that obviously makes sense as to why. But as far as everyone else is concerned, things are just rolling along just fine. Well, I'll probably go through the first month or so here. I don't want to make this video too long because I also don't want to mess up anything scouting, or I don't want to mess up something in the season. If you guys have an idea, I can look at the trade block, but I kind of like feeling it out all the way up to, well, maybe not to the trade deadline. I feel like the end of November here, so we'll simulate the first 2 months of the NHL season. Because as far as contracts are concerned, who do we still have to, who is expiring? So the players expiring are Teuvo Teravainen, Justin Williams. Justin Williams hopefully won't want that much. Ferland, I do kind of want to bring Ferland back, but he does not want to come back. Hayden Fleury does. Teuvo Teravainen's another guy that I would really like to bring back. I know he's a first-line forward and everything, but he's so far not so good, not so hot. In the NHL for him. But like it says, we are a rebuilder, so I don't want to make too rash of a decision to just blow it all up and ruin Svechnikov's rookie season. He's already got a goal and 2 assists, so this second line seems to be doing just fine. 6 penalty minutes for Jordan Staal is not what I'd hope from a guy like him. He's got... Okay, maybe he's getting unlucky. Maybe he's just not adjusting to NHL 19 and the poke checking. I mean, if you guys have gotten caught by that, I know I have a couple times. The panic poke gets me. But hey, look at this third line. The third line's actually piecing it together. But again, we're 4 games in, so can't really make too many decisions off of the first 4 games of an NHL season. But Svechnikov, I'm going to keep him up here. He's an 80. Like, I could do the first 9 games thing, so we got... 4 play, that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this would be the game where after that game we'd have to decide whether we send him down or not. But I want to keep him up in the NHL because I don't whoa, we beat Tampa Bay. Cool. Svechnikov. What's Svechnikov's? When you're as good as me, recent performances like these are just the norm. There is a lot to be proud of. Good work. There you go. Boom. Yeah, he's got a lot to be proud of. I'm not feeling very positive about my performance on the ice lately. I know you have it in you. Yes. Oh, man, I thought I was going to get that one to go too. Anyway, so far it looks like Svechnikov is killing it for us. Central Scouting... So Central Scouting has released their latest Central Scouting rankings. And we get to see that our scout is pretty sure, Burkhoff here, is pretty sure this guy's going to go 5th. They think Krebs is going to go 3rd, but Central Scouting has him going 6th. As far as his potential and comparison, wow, we know a lot about him. Potential, we know he's medium elite. We know that. And he's got a similar style to Jean Beliveau. Doesn't help me as much. I was kind of hoping for like a Sidney Crosby or something. Like a Jeff Carter. I know a Jeff Carter. So if he's got a similar style to Jeff Carter, he's 6'1", 197. Maybe he's a little bit more physical than we might expect. But I did not scout any of this stuff. I hope it's not automatically assigning some of my scouts to go do things. Oh yeah, so this guy's got no assignment, and this guy's got no assignment. So he's in Extra Liga? Are you serious? So let's see. Amateur. U.S. Central here. Scout, we don't need to scout specific players for him. Oh, wait, yeah. We got to do a second round of scouting specific players. So, like I said, I scouted just these first couple guys. Yeah, all the way up to Reeves is who I scouted. You guys, I believe you were here with us. I think I'm going to do a skills assessment for all of these players. Because character assessment is fine, but it doesn't matter too much. It's just going to help you determine what morale response you pick. Playing style is fine, but I feel like skills assessment is going to get us those A's and B's and, tell us what is he good at. Is he good at shooting? Is he good at dangling? Is he good at defense? Is he physical? Is he a good skater? Is, stuff like that. So skills assessment, and there we go. So finish that there. And then one more. Amateur scout needs to Extra Liga, scout specific players, and Extra Liga. Yeah, so did we get all of these guys? Let's see player info. We got his... Oh, we don't have their potential and stuff. So, okay, this is Extra Liga. So let's go ahead. I think they automatically moved him to Extra Liga. I didn't really want him in Extra Liga, but it is what it is. I guess just spending time there is going to help him. So he's going to get back to us probably by the end of the month here. Oh, also, guys, don't fire your scouts just because they're a D-. You have a limited amount of budget, and you really don't want to do like just fire everybody and then hire all the best guys, because you're not going to have enough scouts to cover a lot of areas in this. I tried that once. I did a franchise mode. It did not go well. I ended up with like 12 scouts because I tried to sign all the best guys for the contracts they wanted. Like I said, it did not go great. I didn't have enough scouts for every region, and that left me kind of blind for parts of the season where I couldn't figure it out. So we lose 7-3 to Detroit, but we are above 500. Benoit Pouliot's gained morale because of ice time. Martin Nook has lost morale because of ice time. It's okay, and we've lost locker room chemistry. I don't know why we lost locker room chemistry, but so far we are third in the division, in the Metro here. We are 1 point behind the Flyers, and 5 points behind the defending Stanley Cup champions, who are undefeated to start the season. Well, in regulation, I guess. They're on an 8-game point streak. They've gotten a point out of every game. Oh my god. I just realized this. This is something I complained about so much last year when I was trying to look at the standings and talk to you guys about them. It's not moving on its own. So it'll move when I decide to move it. But it's not just jumping on its own, and I can't analyze the standings. Thank you, EA. That is so nice. So we're 5-4. We're not doing too great, but neither is the rest of the Metro. Although Pittsburgh's sitting down there 3-3, one can only assume that they're going to bounce back. The Blue Jackets, same thing, and like I said, we're only 4 points above them. Sebastian Aho off to a torrid start here to start the 2018-19 season. Okay, so when you're not on it, does it automatically move? Yeah, when you're not on it, it automatically moves. But so Sebastian Aho here. We'll go ahead and just check the first couple games of the season, how we're doing, what lines are hot. It looks like that second line is killing it. Actually, Camilleri, Pouliot are both that Camilleri Pouliot line with who are they with? Who's on? It's Ferland. Michael Ferland's on their line, but for some reason he's not getting points. Aho is. Victor Rask is doing well. Svechnikov's got 6 points. He's got 2 goals for us. He's only got the 9.5% shooting percentage, so I'd like to see that rise. But then again, I mean, he's a rookie. He does have a killer shot, but I can't expect him to do great. Justin Falk, yeah, we're going to be a big old minus this year, guys, especially with our injuries. Ooh, Pesce. Pesce is not doing well for us. He's a -6. Maybe that second pairing, maybe DeHaan moves up to that second pairing. You know what? I think I am going to move DeHaan to that second pairing because DeHaan was playing well to start the season. So we'll move DeHaan up there, Pesce down with Hayden Fleury. Oh, I hit best lines when I called those guys up. That's right. So Hayden Fleury is now going to go in. Trevor Van Riemsdyk out. Now it's going to be Pesce and Fleury and DeHaan and somebody. I forgot who it is. It's Falk. It's Hamilton, I think. Yeah, it's Hamilton and him. Anyway, like I said, we're going to go through the end of November in this video. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of setting up, but I don't want to make any rash decisions until we get to about, this part of the season, where at the end of November we get to analyze the roster and what we've got, what we need. Maybe I make a trade, maybe I trade somebody away, maybe you guys think it's a lost cause. I do want to get your input on this too. We'll see right after this Montreal Canadiens game. We do have a scout to assign though. Amateur scout assigned the U.S. East. His current assignment is Delmore. He is back though, which is nice. All right, amateur scouts who are not scouting. Oh, he's coming up soon. October 27th. Yeah, he's almost done with Delmore. Scout specific players. So let's go ahead. We already scouted these guys. I believe we scouted them. I scouted their potential, didn't I? Did I not scout their potential? Well, if I did, didn't work. Potential in comparison. Maybe it wasn't in the U.S. East. Maybe this guy was not in the U.S. East. But anyway, we'll keep going here as far as what I'm scouting. Oh boy, that guy's 250. I don't think I want to scout much further below that. So there we go. That guy's all set. And now look, oh, that's so nice. We're right back in the calendar view. So let's officially get to the end of October. Get through Halloween, which is on a Wednesday this year. That sucks. Charlotte is fully healed and ready to play. I'll just do best lines down there in the AHL, and look at that. We beat the New York Islanders. Losing a shootout to Boston, though. They were in this position last year. I think... I don't want to just string them along in purgatory here. Carolina Hurricanes fans, I want you guys to have success. I do like the Hurricanes. I like the New Jerseys. They're fantastic. but I'm not too sure what to do here. Maybe we swing a trade, one of those defensemen for a solid. Maybe we get a solid first line center, because is that what we need? What do we need though? That's what I want to know. Victor Rask, I guess Stahl and Rask are great second line forwards, second line centers. Actually, Stahl's supposed to be a third line, so maybe a first line center is what this team needs. But again, we just don't have the forward core around him, and then I don't want to make this even weaker just to get ourselves a top line center, and then what happens after that? Walmark, actually, this bottom line is not doing too poorly. Pouliot, okay. Yeah, those guys went to big old minus town. The second line is plus, but the second line is what I want to be our best line. So you can see there, Sebastian Aho, he's hanging on to a point per game. Andrei Svechnikov's only getting 13 minutes on time on ice, so that would make sense as to why he's lagging behind these two guys. Actually, he's ahead of Jordan Staal, but Jordan Staal is more of a defensive guy. That's where he's getting his time on ice. Aho is the offensive player. He's a +2, only taking 2 penalty minutes, so good for him in 12 games. 7 goals, 4 assists as well. So he's definitely not, slouching there on the second line. He's still leading the team in points on the second line. I just can't imagine what him and Svechnikov and Teravainen are going to do together when they all get to be good enough for the first line, because I don't want to rush him into the first line, Svechnikov. All right, so let's see. The Montreal Canadiens game here. Can we beat the 7-3-2 Arizona Coyotes? Jeez. And Scott Darling is back. Okay, good. So now we have a solid 1-2 punch as far as goaltenders are concerned, and Alex can go help out. The AHL yet again. So he's not happy he got sent down, but that's fine. I'm not too upset about it. Goalies here. Behind Mrazek is Darling. Perfect. Does it tell me he's injured? It does not tell me he's injured anywhere, which is nice. And then in the AHL, we'll just go ahead and throw Alex back in, because I'm not going to try saying his last name, because I'll probably butcher the crap out of it. But I do like these lines. I like the signings of Camilleri, Pouliot, and Stewart. Nothing too exciting we're going to do. We have a lot of cap space, and I really think we should go hard next offseason. I feel like this offseason we let our players grow, develop, get used to playing. Svechnikov in the NHL, let him grow, let him get a bunch of playing time. Keep Teravainen, Fleury, get those guys to grow even more, and then we can go hard for guys in free agency. We can look at upcoming free agents. Maybe we can win the draft lottery or just get another solid prospect, probably a forwards prospect. But I'm going to keep simulating here. I haven't done a lot of simulating in this video, a lot of talking though, as it's starting to edge on a little too long for you guys. So as I get through the end of November here, we beat the Scott Darling is fully healed, but we're okay with that because he was already back in the lineup, and that's 2 straight wins. Can we beat the Chicago Blackhawks? We beat them twice now. The Pro Scouts still doing their thing. We lose to the Columbus Blue Jackets, which is not great, but we do beat another Metropolitan Division foe. It's a good year for rookies. I'm glad they wait until November now to tell you, instead of like the beginning of October. Nicholas Roy is available to play. Charlotte, best lines, that's fine. 10-8-3. Ooh, we beat the Florida Panthers and the New York Islanders. That's a Metropolitan foe. We're up here against the 14-9-1 Montreal Canadiens. Jesus, if Montreal starts the season 14-9-1, I'd be very impressed. But I do think they're going to be under 500 for 75% of this season. So let's go through this Anaheim Ducks game. Get up to December 1st when all RFAs. Calvin DeHaan has broken his nose. Ouch. Unfilled. We'll put Pesci in for all the Actually, wait. So I'll swap out. Yeah. There's a good way to do this. Trevor Van Reem. Yep. He'll become a healthy scratch. So he's now where Pesci was, and Pesci is now going to be where all of the empty slots were. So that's perfect. That's really nice and quick. And Anaheim here, we win. Wow. So towards the end of the month of November, we really decided to pick it up. Actually, November was our month, except for the first couple games. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins, 2, 3 regulation losses, and 2. Wow. Yeah. What is that? Wait. What did I say? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 wins. 1, 2, 3 losses, 8-3-2. So 8-3-2 in a month is gonna get you to the playoffs. So time to go look at the stats. Wow. Well, look at that. We are second in the division, but it is a very tight race, including behind the Washington Capitals. The Flyers and Penguins are right on our tails, and we're right on the tails of the Washington Capitals. So far the season is looking to go pretty well. I haven't made too many. Actually, I did strengthen the depth. I was going to say I just kind of rolled up here and did what they were doing. But no, I did strengthen the depth, so I'm going to give myself some credit for this. Also playing Svechnikov. Aho's got 8-8 in 25 games, so that's not bad. Falk is doing well. The problem is the plus-minus, but again, we don't really have great lines up on the top there or the bottom, so not going to be great. Svechnikov, though. Svechnikov's got 7-7. Teuvo Teravainen's got 15 points. You would definitely expect him to get more if he had Rask and Svechnikov or Rask and Aho. But as far as the time on the ice, yeah, there we go. Svechnikov's shooting percentage went way up. So I will definitely take that. Leading the team in goals is Aho, Svechnikov, Pouliot down there. Pouliot, a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Teuvo Teravainen, Rask, Dougie Hamilton, the new acquisition there. Justin Falk, Kelvin DeHaan was doing pretty well, but he is injured. Jordan Staal, 11 points. As far as who's killing it on the power play for us? So Falk is really, I mean, but you would expect that from Justin Falk to be a power play facilitator as well as Dougie Hamilton. Teravainen, that's where he's getting his help. He's not really doing. I mean, he's got 15 points, so he's only got 20% of his points are coming off the power play. I get to look at power play goals now. Yay! Time on ice per game. Obviously, it's going to be Falk, Slavin, Hamilton, DeHaan. I mean, DeHaan though. He's a +6. The dude's a +6, so when he's healthy, he's really helping the team, and maybe moving DeHaan into that second pairing, and then Fleury and Pesce down here. Fleury, Pesce, and Van Riemsdyk. Pesce was a big fat minus when I did move him down to the bottom pairing, because he is a defensive defenseman, and I just hate the way defensive defensemen simulate 1 point. I mean, Hayden Fleury kind of needs more, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know what to do to get jumpstart Hayden Fleury here. He's only got 16 games played. He's a -4 though, but 0 points. I mean, for real though. And Pouliot, I can probably expect him to slow down, but then I'd assume the goals were going to get distributed elsewhere. Who is taking a bunch of shots for this team? Who's the ones? Really, Justin Falk is leading the team in shots. That's not what you want to see. I don't want to see my defender leading the team in shots. Now, we are a bit... I can't just multiply by 4, but I'd say if I multiplied by 3, he's up to, what, 270, maybe almost 300 shots on the season for Falk. I mean, Falk good. He's a good offensive defenseman, but he's not the guy I want shooting nonstop. I'd rather have guys like Svechnikov or Williams or Aho or, hell, even Rask, although Rask doesn't seem to have a very good shooting percentage. Now, if we were to go look at our goaltenders here, Mrazek and Darling. Darling, in his 3 games, has played very solid. Peter Mrazek, he's done all right. I'd like to see that save percentage get a little bit higher, but the goal against average doesn't bother me too much. That's a pretty decent goal against average, actually. So when we lose, it's not because of our defense or goaltending, it seems like, which would make sense based on how this team is built. Not a bunch of goal scorers, not a bunch of offensive playmakers, but a lot of very solid two-way players, playmakers who can pass the puck and make things happen. People to put home the puck, not so much, which is why Svechnikov is going to be a huge part of this team going forward. And defensively, we got a lot of great defensemen, and we're defensively sound. Now, I did want to go check one thing all the way across the league, in the entire league. Let's go ahead and check out rookie skaters. Casey Middlestat from the Buffalo Sabres is leading as far as points, but Svechnikov, guys, he's doing well up there. He's right behind him. He's got a better shooting percentage. Taking fewer penalties, a better plus-minus on this team, which is surprising. Rasmus Dahlin, I don't know if you guys were interested in that. Philip Cheitel there as well, but only 3 guys in double digits, and it really seems to be Middlestat versus Svechnikov. I hope Svechnikov does win the Calder, because I would love to see that for our team. And as far as rookie goaltenders, Copley. Phoenix Copley is in there, but he's only played 6 games. Linus Ullmark, not having a great season as far as goaltending is concerned. Malcolm Subban, though. Malcolm Subban's having a great season. But just like I was saying, I just wanted to see how Svechnikov was doing points-wise, and he's right on the tail of Casey Middlestat. Does have the most goals of all rookies, because Casey Middlestat is more of a playmaker. But Svechnikov, I do like him on that second line. I really like the way things are looking this season, guys. We're right up there behind the Washington Capitals. If things keep on rolling this way, I really see us as a wild card team who can maybe make some noise in the playoffs, but I would just like to see us get into the playoffs I don't know if Carolina has a playoff drought or not. Being from Buffalo, I know what playoff droughts are like, guys, and I'm going to try my best to stop it for you and try and get you a Stanley Cup as soon as possible, but I can only work with what I'm given, and I can only work within the bounds of realism. So try and make this as realistic as possible. We signed a couple free agents, brought them in for trials. They seem to work out pretty well, and they're sticking around. Chris Stewart, Pouliot, and Camilleri. Chris Stewart seems to be the quietest out of all of them. 11 penalty minutes. I mean, 2 goals, 3 assists. Not terrible, but he's not getting much time on ice. Pouliot up there, great in goals, and Camilleri's definitely feeding off of that as well. Plus minus isn't great either, but it is what it is. So guys, let me know your thoughts, comments. I want to know what you want me to do. I want your opinion. I want your feedback. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.